Everyone's talking about how great property investment is, but I want to actually show you how to find deals online very easily, very quickly, step by step. So we're going to go to Rightmove because Rightmove is completely free. So everybody has access to Rightmove. And I'm going to go to Manchester and we're going to search for sale. Now, it doesn't really matter where the deal is. So I'm going to do it within 40 miles of Manchester and we're going to be looking at all properties to begin with. And let's just see what we can find. Boom. There's 76,000. Now, most people get into a state of paralysis by analysis. Paralysis by analysis, looking at all these big mansions and wondering, oh, could I maybe develop this land? And could I, oh, look, a rare opportunity. Yeah, it's 14 million. Relax. I tell you what, let's look for something that's actually going to give us good cash flow without having to rely on planning consultants and the council and the government. HMO. Boom. So if I type in the word HMO, now all the HMOs are going to come up. So here we go, a 34-bed HMO. Now, I don't know how much your budget is, but as we go down, it's getting cheaper and cheaper. And I'm interested in properties, like this looks interesting to me. This is a residential business HMO rental opportunities. And this is a commercial property, right? So if it's a commercial property, that means it's valued based on the rents, which is good because you can increase the rents and then you increase the value of the property. So I'm not going to do HMOs the entire time. I'm just going to have a quick look at HMOs now and see what we can find. So we got that 9-bed HMO, $500,000. Let's see if we go 6 pages in, see what's going on. Still on HMOs, end of terrace. Let's see how big this is. That looks like a big old property for $350. That's a big old property. How many bedrooms has it got? 16 rooms. Are you having a laugh? Why is that so much cheaper? Well, it's terraced, albeit end terraced. It's in Blackburn, which is not Manchester. It's on the outskirts, so it's in a reasonably cheap area. But here's the interesting thing. It's right in the centre of Blackburn. Now, let's see how much you're going to get per room. So you're going to get in Blackburn. So let's see how much people are prepared to pay for rooms. So this lovely lady, $350 a week. A week? That can't be right. That must be a mistake. Oh my goodness. See, the budgets for rooms in Blackburn, £120 a week. That is about £500 a month. Don't think times it by 4, you times it by 4.3. 120 times 4.333 is 519. So you're talking, look, this guy's looking to pay 500, 120 a week, 120 a week, 900. So the tenant, 750 in Blackburn, let's call it 500 on average. 500 a room in Blackburn. Bear in mind, this is like walking distance from Blackburn Centre. So if you've got, is there really 16 rooms? Potential for HMO offices or apartments subject to planning permission, 16 rooms. Okay, so I don't know what this currently is. It might be a bit of a confused property right now. But if it really does have 16 rooms, now look, it's a wreck. It needs a refurb. Who's gonna buy this house? Because no first-time buyers are gonna buy this house. Look, look at all this space. So this is a brilliant opportunity for investment because it's run down, you wouldn't get a mortgage on it, it's confused, it doesn't know what it is. So I love this. Property to total of 16 rooms. Let's assume you could get just 12 rooms. If you manage to get this as a 12-bed HMO, you're gonna bring in, get my calculator up, 12, and again, I'm just guessing right now. I need to see, I've just found it 10 seconds ago. But that is $6,000 a month per year. That is 72 grand a year. £72,000 per year. Now, how much is the value gonna be? If you rented that out and it would bring in 72 grand a year, well, you can divide that by the yield. If the yield's gonna be, say, 12%, which is pretty standard, that means that your valuation on that's gonna be about 600 grand. So here's what you do. You buy a property like that, cash, maybe get it for 300, 350, buy it, it's just come on the market, buy it cash, spend 100 grand doing it up, get the relevant consents, fire doors, you've got £72,000 a year coming in, and then you've got an asset worth £600,000 based on a 12% yield, commercial valuation, bang. Where's that? Oh, it's so hard to find deals. There we go, bang. So that is with Crown Estate Lettings, letting agents. Here it is. Now, I'd obviously need to do further due diligence. Please don't take me for saying go and buy that house right now. Now that's HMOs. But we could also look for, here's another thing I like to do. I like to look for, forget HMOs for a minute. Let's not look at highest price, let's look at oldest listed. Oldest listed. See, if we go to oldest listed, we're gonna see this, fixed price. We will not budge on the price. They will not budge on the price, okay? That looks like a castle. This is ridiculous. It's been on the market since 2018, and they are not budging. They clearly don't need the money now. They are clearly just fixated on getting 395. So why is that interesting? Well, because what we could do is we could say, you know what? Look, sale price 295 for quick sale. You're having a laugh, right? But no offers. So we could go, look, you know what? We'll give you 395. We'll give you the price that you want, but we'll pay you on our terms. We'll pay you in 5 years. But right now, we'll rent it off of you. I mean, would they accept that? I don't know. In fact, you know what? Let me call the agent and find out if they would. This is called a lease option agreement. Now, I don't know if they're going to say yes, but you know what you have to do deals? You have to just get on the phone.
It's a Vodafone voicemail service for phones.
Fine. Now, you know what you would have done? You would have spent an hour and a half doing due diligence on that property, and then after an hour and a half of doing due diligence, you'd have rang up and they didn't answer, and that was a waste of your time. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save that opportunity, save it, click save, bang, and then next. Find something else. This is lease options, searching for people that are motivated to sell, but they have a fixed price in mind. Let's see what else we can find. So we've got some detached, a 70-bed detached property here. To be honest, that I don't think there's much. That's probably just going to be a luxurious family home. I can't really see much value to be added. Oh, it's a holiday complex, maybe. 17 bedrooms, holiday complex near Alton Towers. I take it back. So how much are you going to get for this? I wonder. See, if I'm buying this, if you're buying this building and it's also running as a business, this is effectively a small hotel. Clearly, that's what it's running as at the moment. You just need to see the books. You know, does it say the books? How much are they bringing in for this? What are their last 3 years' books? And a great opportunity like this is if you buy a property that's running as a business like this, it's going to have a commercial value to it. If you can then increase the rents, like I'll give you an example. I bought a property recently called Stelling Grange, and this property is look, here it is. Little 4-star hotel in Peak District in Buxton. So I bought that for just £1.4 million based on the commercial value because the rents were quite low. But now I'm refurbishing it. It's going to get more revenue. Therefore, I've increased the value. Therefore, I can refinance, get my money back, buy another one. That's how you recycle your money. So this potentially could work, maybe, but I'm not super excited. And it's a lot of money, 1.475 million. This one's 650. Nice. Some of these are big. See, this is the kind of thing that I just love. 150 grand. Nice. Lancashire. Okay, it's in Blackpool, which, yeah, FY4 is not too bad though. With Blackpool, the closer you get to the centre, the more sketchy it gets. So, you know, it's not a nice area, but then I guess it's 150 grand. And it's all about yields. When you're buying a property, you're not buying with your feelings. You're not saying, would I like to live there? You're buying with your formulas. So let's look at the formulas. Well, for a start, 4-bedroom masonette with commercial unit. Okay, I wonder if it's freehold or leasehold. It usually says on the description. It says tenure, ask agent. Okay, I imagine it's probably freehold. It comes with a commercial unit as well, which is interesting because look, with a commercial unit, what does that mean? That means that this is commercial and this is residential. So you're buying the whole thing. Because it's mixed use, mixed commercial and residential, you're going to pay commercial stamp duty rates. So you're going to save a lot of money on stamp. Let me explain how that works. So for example, stamp duty calculator. People are shocked at how stamp duty works. And you know what? You'll be shocked to know that your solicitors generally don't know how to calculate stamp duty properly. So you can read the government website and figure it all out, or you can just go to some of these wonderful little calculators. So if you're buying a property for 150 grand, as an investment, you're typically going to pay about 8 grand stamp. However, 8 grand stamp, that's a lot of money. If you're buying a commercial property, stamp duty. And if it's mixed use, like that one is, you're going to pay commercial rates. And you're buying that for £150,000, the stamp duty is going to be 0. So you're going to pay no stamp duty at all. So there we go. Bap, 8 grand saved on stamp duty. And your solicitor will often not tell you this. If you're owed stamp duty and you overpaid, you can claim it back with interest from the government. Thank you very much. So this property, 150 grand, no stamp duty at all to be paid, even if you already own lots of properties. How much rent are you going to get for this? Well, commercial unit is empty. That's good news. I want to find out, how much is this Indian restaurant paying? How much is this Zest company paying? Well, if you rent that out, commercial property is valued based on rents. If there's no tenant in there, that's why it's dirt cheap. So you might be able to get £1,000 a month, for example. If you get £1,000 a month, 12 grand a year, but then with the rooms up here, you can rent these out. How big are they? Big room. They need, as long as they're over 70 square foot, we're good. So we've got a room. So that's at least 3. And you could potentially, look, get another room here. In fact, that's big enough. The only thing is it doesn't have windows. Does it have windows? Yes, it does. Window here. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to get 4 rooms out of that. How much can you get in Blackpool? Blackpool. And you might go, Samuel, I do not want a HMO in Blackpool. That is going to be an absolute nightmare to manage. Well, we'll look at that in a minute. Rooms for rent in Blackpool. Let's see how much people are charging for rooms. So 400, but I mean, come on. That is a scatty room, right? 400. Okay, 500. £125 per week, which is about 450, 500, 500. So we're seeing a pattern here, aren't we? 470, 700, 750, but that looks nice. So we're talking about £500, 550, 750, £98, about 430. Okay, so talking about £500 a month. So if you've got 4 rooms, that's 2 grand here, a grand here, that's suddenly £3,000 a month coming in. £3,000 a month for a mixed-use property in Blackpool. And if you don't want those tenants, then what you can do is you can find housing associations in Blackpool, because there's a lot. Believe me, there's a lot. So look at this. Blackpool Housing Associations, FY Housing, Great Places Housing Group. A lot of these housing associations, what they'll do is they will rent properties, they will give you guaranteed rent. So for example, and you can just click on them and which ones do you like the look of? Which ones do you think, you know what, I'd like to work with an organisation like that. Progressive Housing Group, let's see what they do. Or the Ashley Foundation, let's see what they do. Click on their website. So these guys, the Progress Housing Group, they help people with well-being support, employment and training, but they are looking for houses. So you can reach out to these companies and ask them how much rent they would pay you in order to, if you were to give them your property. You can go straight to the council direct and rent to the council emergency accommodation. We've got Hanover Housing Association. Let's see what they do. So this is a care company. You know what a lot of these types of companies need? Houses. And guess what? They get financed by the government. They get billions and billions of pounds combined a year, and they are looking to rent properties, probably just like this one. So this is just a little taste how you can just find deals quickly. If you want, you can do rent to rents. If I want to find a rent to rent deal, I'm gonna go, okay, let's look at Manchester. Manchester hotels. I can see that the Manchester hotel market is booming. I know on average, if I want to get a rent to rent, I can go on Open Rent, for example, and I can find properties that are for rent. I can go to an area like Manchester and I can see properties are for rent. And look at this. Some of these are really expensive. Some of these are really cheap. We've got 3,000, we've got 700. This one for 700, where is it? It is in Manchester, literally St. Peter's Square. So this is £700 for a nice little room with a nice bathroom and a kitchen. You know what? I don't see an apartment room when I see that property. I see a hotel suite. If I was to rent that from Mincusi, if I was to rent that and pay £700 a month, I know I could rent that out for £100 a night. That's £3,000 a month. Minus expensive voids and bills, that's going to leave me with £2,000 minus the rent £700. It's going to leave me with a profit of £1,300. And I do not even own the property. I lease it with a commercial rent-to-rent tenancy agreement, and then I rent it out on Airbnb and Booking.com. Do you need a license to do this? No. You just need to hit the phone. So I really believe you can achieve more when you are actively deal sourcing the correct way with knowledge. What do they say? You're better to sharpen the axe for 7 hours if you've got 8 hours to find deals. If you want to sharpen the axe, learn how to do this. I'm running a webinar where I'm going to be showing you exactly how to find deals step by step. There's no one better than me at finding deals. I've been involved in hundreds of deals over the years. I've been full-time in property now for 17 years. I've trained thousands of people, and the training I'm going to be running, guess what? It's completely free. So if you want to spend a bit of time with me, click the link below in the description, and I'll see you on the free online training. See you around.